On that same day in 97, NewsRadio was airing Season 3, Episode 12, Rap. Bill's editorials against rap music lyrics prompt Jimmy to invite rapper Chuck D to respond on the air. Hilarity ensues.
Chuck D, dude. We even get a Chuck D blooper at the end, which I love. Yeah, as we start the episode, Lisa, one of the white chicks on the show, Dave Foley's on-again, off-again romance, is on the phone. She seems kind of like a personal call. She's just trying to kind of hide it from everybody, and she keeps saying she's uncomfortable with it. So I thought maybe she was getting a call maybe about a possible new job at the current gig. But everybody's kind of just like in her business. She's trying to hide. She's trying to keep it down. There's a staff meeting she keeps getting reminded of. People now think she's pregnant because of this phone call. Joe asks her about it, Joe Rogan. It's a whole thing, Steve. She has to hide under her desk. No privacy. This is why I like working from home.
Yeah, it has several benefits. And as I'm watching the show more and more, I have a crush on Vicki Lewis, a.k.a. Beth. I got an affinity for those redheads.
Weird taste, man. You just got some strange, whatever. I thought, I got to say also to Beth, Vicki Lewis, I thought it was Kathy Griffin. In my mind, if you would have asked me a year ago if Kathy Griffin was in this show, I would have said, yes, it's the redhead chick. It's not.
No. And
I bet Kathy Griffin was very angry at Vicki. Probably lost a lot of gigs to her. So shout out to Vicki. I don't get it, Steve. You know who I'm attracted to in this cast?
Candy Alexander. Oh yeah, that's this is why I fall asleep with the TV on. Maybe Candy and Vicki Lewis can give me some of that action, but still have
little swirlification on the menage.
Mm-hmm. The redheads, they are the Negroes of white people. Matthew, Mr. Andy Dick, just sitting there staring at her.
He actually, when she's under the desk, does something to interrupt the call, but they interrupt the call. Lisa, we don't know what the call was about until after the credits, where she talks to Jimmy James, which I always love this guy's name. That's a great rich guy's name, Jimmy James.
I like his real name too, Stephen Root.
Hell yeah. But Lisa's trying to talk to Jimmy. She needs his advice because that call was actually about an article that New York Magazine wants to do about her, which you think is great, right? Publicity, get a little credit. But it's not about her writing, Steve. It's for the cutest reporter in New York City. Aw.
And she is cute. Maura Tierney, you're a cutie pie.
She is. I like the get-up she has on in this episode. It reminds me of chicks I had a crush on in the 90s. It's not Blossom, but I don't know. It's very white chick. So Jimmy James, he's all about publicity, basically. He's a businessman. And he can't get through his head. He's like, why? What's the problem here? He's like, I get it. You want to be respected or whatever. She's like, just keep it quiet, please. And he's like, of course. Between you and me. And then he just walks out and just starts screaming at the top of his lungs so everybody knows. She's cute.
Yeah. Lisa's the cutest. And then we cut to Bill and Joe sitting in Bill's car. His stereo, it doesn't sound right. But Joe's like, man, you listen to this garbage? It's rap music and I love it. Speaks to me in places I didn't even know I had ears. And I wish I had a better Phil Hartman impression because he was the shit.
It's hard to do, Steve. It's just I can't do it either. I'm not going to try.
It's hard to impersonate an impersonator, I realize.
That's true. I mean, he has a radio voice. He was born with a golden voice. So he's talking to Joe. Joe clearly has pulled a fast one on this guy. He's like, it's under warranty. Bill's like, no, that's a lie. Joe said it's not under warranty. And Bill goes against that. And then Joe's like, all right, man, I'll fix it, but you're going to have to pay me. So the agreement's done, and as soon as they shake hands, Joe's like, okay. Just flips the treble up a little bit because he had it all the way down. So he's like, now you can hear what they're saying. And now that Bill can hear what rap really is, Steve, and that there's actual words to it, he's not a fan.
This whole time, he didn't even know it had lyrics. We cut back to the office, and Beth, she's grilling Lisa about being cute. You're not cute, you're pretty. There's a difference. There's short and hyperactive, and that's cute, and that's me. The code word for voluptuous? That's really just pretty and fat. Sexy is just a code word for pretty and easy. And exotic? That's a code word for ugly.
And basically, Beth's like, look, we can't skew the terminology here. Cute's got to be cute. So as soon as somebody that's not cute gets called that, it's done. We can't have that. And that's the thing, all these ladies now, cute? Who's the cutest? Because Beth thinks she's the cutest. Lisa, she's hurt. We'll get to other people later. But Bill comes into the break room. He's finally actually hearing the words to this rap, this so-called rap music, Steve, this riggedy rap. And he can't believe it. We've talked about it, but he's like, look, I'd be fine if they were selling this in the back of a porn store, like out of a scummy alleyway, but this stuff's available everywhere. We can't have this, right? And somebody's like, how do you know about the porno store or whatever? He's like, trust me. Sorry.
I've heard. So you won't believe how they refer to themselves as the N-word. And then Matthew's like, what's the N-word? Nerd? No, worse than that. What's worse than nerd? Catherine, hot-ass Candy Alexander, she whispers in his ear, and he's like, nincompoop? Don't you ever say that again.
Watch your mouth. So now Matthew, lovable man. I don't like that they're using a person named Matthew, Steve. We're all not lovable doofuses like this. Shout out to Andy Dick for still being alive, by the way. He's really taken a fun turn in life. Catherine kind of spoke up for Lisa when they were talking. We cut to like a bathroom. Lisa's like, hey, man, thank you so much. Appreciate you sticking up for me. And Catherine's like,
don't push it.
Yeah. Because people think you're cute. Look at this and this. And I got to agree. I mean, I don't even really feel like Lisa has an argument in this case. But we're seeing, Steve, everybody's a little edgy about this. And even Lisa, she doesn't really have a lot of confidence. But Catherine, I'm on her side. She should be the cutest. And even more sexiest, or whatever you want to call it, voluptuous.
Sexiest, prettiest, ground shaking ass, titties in the asshole. And we cut back to Bill, and he's still ranting about this rap. My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns on. You know the name of this song? Baby Got Back?
Yeah, so he wants to do a whole editorial about it. Dave's not really listening to it. As he finishes up his tirade, Dave's like, hey man, you go back 10 years and you might be one of the first people that's actually given out this opinion, because we've all heard this before. This is very Christian youth group energy that Bill's throwing out here. So he's like, look man, you can do this, but don't you dare go after the lambada, you piece of garbage.
Everyone could die. And before Bill leaves, he sees Lisa and he's like, yeah, cuteness might get you ahead elsewhere, but here it's about the work.
He's driven right now, Steve. He can't believe it. So Bill's off on his tirade. He leaves, and Lisa comes into Dave's office, and she's like, look, Jimmy, Dave, just shoot. I'm not doing this. And Jimmy is like, look, why are you throwing away all this good publicity? It's free advertising for the station. What's going on? And she's holier than thou, Steve. She's like, advertising is all dishonest.
It's deceptive.
And as soon as Jimmy Jam hears that, that's going at the money, Steve. You start playing with his money, and you start playing with his emotions, and he goes off.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah. And he's like, what? What? Goes from advertising to America. Sesame Street gets brought into it. Bye-bye, Grover. Bye-bye, Oscar the Grouch. Kermit the goddamn frog, Steve.
Kermit the motherfucking frog. And
prolific characters, dramatic and comedic over the years. But yeah, great actor. He can't stand what Lisa's saying. It's literally making him go insane. So, there's a little bit of pressure on Lisa to do this shoot, Steve, you could say.
It's not rap music. It's crap music. That's the Bill O'Neill perspective. So they're going over his little editorial, and apparently Matthew wrote it.
Yeah, because Dave's like, this is the most idiotic thing you've ever written, Bill. And Bill's like, I didn't write that. I paid Matt handsomely to write that. Yeah. I guess Matthews, that's what happens, Steve. I was writing English papers for people. This Matthew, he's writing copy for Bill about rap music. I wouldn't have done this.
And he paid him $7.
$7 whole and a couple of nice coins, too, Steve. A couple of Abraham Lincolns. You know what I'm talking about. Bill, he's going to do it. Dave's talking to Jimmy Jam, and he's like, look, man, he can do whatever he wants. Because I own the company that owns the company that owns the company that makes the rap albums he's talking about. It's something where he's getting free publicity off this no matter what. The rich win, Steve. The rich always get richer. We should know that by now.
Big bank take little bank. And we cut back to Lisa and the girls. They're sitting down and she tells them, I talked to the magazine and I told them it's very disgusting. And I also told them it's all or nothing. You got to take the three of us or no one at all.
I'll take all three of you ladies any day. So she's sticking up for the ladies, right, Steve? It's a sisterhood of the traveling pants. Speaking of somebody who knew some scummy photographers in L.A., I'd love to be on set.
She even tells them, apparently the magazine said the more the merrier. And she was like, how sick is that? The girls are like, well, when do we need to be there?
Yeah, I got to get my hair done. I got to go buy a new brassiere. Sisterhood. What is this radio station, Steve?
WNYX.
There we go. WNYX. The ladies, they're all together. Can't wait for that shoot. Cut to the McNeil perspective, Steve, and Bill's giving his diatribe. We cut out of the booth. I always loved the set, Steve. I'd love to work at this radio station. You get to look right into the booth. You get to see these people. So Bill's going into it. Jimmy brought in a ringer to maybe debate Bill on this show, Steve, and it's none other, Steve, than Chuck D himself, public enemy number one.
He arrives and he's looking for the guy that was talking crazy about rap lyrics. And Dave tells him it's the guy that looks like he's talking crazy about rap lyrics. And you see Bill McNeil, he's just like ranting. It's just all you could see is his pantomimes. He goes in there and Dave talks to Jimmy. He's like, well, one of his beliefs is sucking up to famous people. So Chuck goes in there and he introduces himself. He's like, hey, I'm Chuck D. Well, you're going to have to find another name because it's taken up by someone else in the industry. Yeah, it's taken up by me. Welcome to the Terror Home.
Can I get your autograph? Oh my God. Chuck starts grilling him and he's like, look, man, I just read this stuff. So he throws Matthew right under the bus in front of Chuck D. And basically Chuck D talks Matthew into a corner on the show. But then says something that I don't like to hear Chuck D say to Andy Dick, which is, no, we're not so far apart, you and me. You know?
Totally are.
Let's erase this episode, I feel like. We don't want that.
He asked, do you really believe that rap is cancerous to today's youth? Well, see, I try to exaggerate. I tend to do that from time to time. Oh, exaggerate? Well, sometimes rappers exaggerate. Let me guess. You do it to make it more interesting, right? And you do it to sell, to make money, right? Well, yeah, but you make money off of it too. But
yeah, Chuck D does what Chuck D does. He's a professor, and he schools everybody in the room, makes them look like idiots, makes Bill just want an autograph, really, because he's just a star fucker. So it's all good, and they get Chuck D in the booth, so I love that. So we cut from that to the photo shoot, and Lisa shows up a little early. Beth and the other chick show up.
Catherine.
They're stiff, even though they were talking all that mess before. So then we see the whole photo shoot. We see it, and it gets pretty gnarly, Steve, because they come in and they're like, they're not going to make us do anything stupid, are they? And then by the end of the thing, they got leather dresses on, and they're smiling. They're doing the whole thing.
I was pleased at the end when Beth and Catherine are wearing the leather with the chains and stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Steve's into the Hellraiser shit. Okay. All right.
Shout out to Vicki Lewis, though. She's from Cincinnati, Ohio, and I didn't know she was married to Nick Nolte.
Ah, hell. Is she still married to Nick Nolte, Steve?
Only from 94 to 03. They were partners, my bad. But
okay.
her current spouse is Philip Allen, and they were married in 08. So
I used to like Bad Boys. Oh, it's okay. Who was it? Nick Nolte. He just hell.
Sexiest man of the year, or was it 91?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then the early what? How much crack did he smoke? That's what happened, Steve.
Is that what it is? You got to smoke crack to be seen as handsome?
No, I'm saying he was the world's sexiest man, and then in 10 years, he became Nick Nolte that we know and love. That looks like Marv from Home Alone 2 after he got electrocuted.
Meth, not even once.
Hell.